but whoever's out there, you hit a child and you kept going.
A 6-year-old is recovering after being hurt stepping off an RTD bus. Aurora police are looking for the driver who hit her.
Rain, hail, and bursts of snow. An unusual storm making its way through Colorado. Just in time for your drive home.
A recurring skin condition that pops up in different places on his body makes it hard.
It could be a medical breakthrough. A new solution is being tested in Colorado to fight food allergies. And the Buffs will be bringing the star power to Boulder for the spring game. 9 News at 4 starts now. 4 o'clock on your Monday, the first day of April, and we've got a storm coming through Colorado. All kinds of stuff out there. Good afternoon. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Tom Green. Let's take a live look at some of the roads from CDOT cameras. This is the situation down in Castle Rock, where if you're on the right side, you're zipping along. If you're on the left side, you're going slow. That's because there's some snow and rain that might be a part of your commute home tonight.
We're going to take a look around the metro area. This storm is unstable, so it really depends on where you are. There have been spots of, looks like a little bit of sunshine or sun trying to poke through in some areas downtown. But then look at that shot where it's really hard to see anything, kind of gloomy, foggy, and then the mountains, something's happened up there. I don't know exactly. That's why I'm not going to try and guess, but I can tell you this is hail from Corey Reppenhagen that was along I-70 in Golden. That was about 3 hours ago. There was thunder, lightning, all kinds of stuff there earlier this afternoon. He's been chasing the clouds all around, finding some of the pockets of snow, ice, grapple, rain, whatever it is. He's going to join us live coming up at 4:30.
Right now, though, let's talk about where it is doing what with Kathy. She's got a look at a very busy day.
Hi guys, no April Fool joke today. I mean, we do. We have snow, we have rain, we have hail, we have grapple in Colorado in April. We just call that spring. And this is a spring storm that we're tracking. It's kind of churning over southern Colorado, bringing in occasional rain showers, occasional snow showers. This will be the trend through about 8 o'clock tonight. Up in the high country, a little bit of blue up there. It is so pretty on I-70, but we've had kind of a convective look to these clouds. So a bit of thunder, a bit of lightning, and again, some of that foothill hail. We're tracking the evening showers between now and 8 o'clock ahead of a midweek warming trend. Yes, our first 70-degree reading of the season is going to happen this week on maybe more than one day. Temperatures today in the 50s, so cooler than average, but I wouldn't call that cold. It's a spring-like storm that's sitting over southern Colorado, generating some very gusty winds out of the north and northeast. Fort Morgan, Sterling, Akron, and Sydney seeing the worst of the wind this hour. The storm to the south of us will eventually lift away from Colorado, allowing for high pressure to set up. And that drier northwesterly flow is going to cut off the moisture flow, but not for a little while. We've got rain over the north metro area with a little thunder and lightning up over Keensburg, Fort Collins, and Greeley. These showers are tracking from the northwest toward the east and southeast. And again, a brief heavy downpour during the heart of the evening drive. Nobody needs that. But up in the high country, in the foothill areas, it could be all snow. The only advisories for snow cover southern Colorado. We're going to talk much more about this evening's forecast in detail in just a bit.
Thank you, Kathy. We now turn to the 3 teenagers accused of killing a young woman with a landscaping rock. We're in court today, pleading not guilty.
It's been almost a year since 20-year-old Alexa Bartel died while driving her car in Jefferson County. 9 News crime and justice reporter Kelly Rinke was inside the courtroom for their arraignments. And Kelly, you learned about new charges in this case.
Yeah, Kim and Tom, Joseph Koenig is facing 4 additional counts after 2 more victims came forward. This is for rock throwing incidents that are separate from the night that Alexa Bartel died. According to investigators, these incidents happened back in February. Joseph Koenig, Zachary Quack, and Nicholas Carolchik all face a first-degree murder charge for the death of Alexa Bartel. Bartel was driving on Indiana Street near Rocky Flats last April when a rock hit her car. They also face attempted murder charges for 6 other rock-throwing incidents that night in April of last year. Investigators say Bartel was the last person targeted. At this point, we really don't know any specific details about how these additional charges came forward. All of these defendants will go to trial separately. The first one is scheduled to start in June. Guys.
All right, Kelly, thank you. We know that information's been trickling in, and over the months you've been reporting about people talking about rocks and incidents that just didn't end in the same way as this one. All right, thank you. Also developing today, we are following reports of people throwing things at cars in northern Colorado. Johnston police are investigating one incident over the weekend. It happened on Highway 60 between Johnston and Milliken. Our Janelle Finch spoke to a woman whose car was hit. She's going to have that story coming up at 5 o'clock.
Right now, Lakewood police say they're trying to find out what led up to a car crashing into a building. It happened about 9:15 last night near Sheridan, Louisiana, across from a King Soopers. The car crashing into the famous Fades barbershop, and West Metro Fire says the impact did significant damage to the building. Crews did pull the car out, but then had to build supports to keep the building from falling down. The driver suffered minor injuries and went to the hospital to be checked out. As of now, the driver has not been charged. Well, confiscating guns under Colorado's red flag law is much more likely in some parts of Colorado than others. Of course, that's the law that allows judges to take guns for up to a year from a person believed to be dangerous.
A new study out today found the success of those efforts depends largely on whether county leaders oppose the law. Investigative reporter Kevin Vaughn looks into the big takeaways from the law being on the books. Kevin?
Kim and Tom, it's really pretty simple. In 37 counties that declared themselves Second Amendment sanctuaries in 2019, judges were far less likely to sign off on a red flag petition.
Hello. Hey, how are you? Good.
Colorado's red flag law
3 officers hit! 1 down!
was designed to temporarily take guns from people like the man who murdered Sheriff's Deputy Zach Parrish. People who haven't broken the law but are dangerous.
We know that firearm-involved deaths occur in every county across the state.
Chris Konopke is an assistant professor at the University of Colorado School of Medicine and works on its Firearms Injury Prevention Initiative.
We owe it to our communities to try to help everybody understand the types of cases that these are meant for and when they might be sort of most effective and applicable.
The law took effect in 2020. It let police, family members, and housemates seek court orders to take guns away from people who are a threat to themselves or others. Overall, judges approved 2/3 of the 353 applications to confiscate guns for either 14 days or a full year.
These are threats of suicide. These are threats to romantic partners. These are threats directed at law enforcement or for mass shootings. These are scary stories.
But a study Konopke co-authored shows a much lower approval rate in the 37 Colorado counties where leaders were hostile to the law before it even passed. In those self-declared Second Amendment sanctuary counties, just 48% got the okay. It was significantly higher in the other 27 counties, where judges approved 77% of the applications.
It's one of these ideas that I think honors the viewpoints of the firearm advocacy community while also trying to do what's best in situations where there's crisis.
But also a measure Konopke would like to see more widely used.
Leaving this as a tool sort of on the shelf without considering what it can do when other options have failed is sort of a failure on our part.
The law was amended last year to also allow district attorneys, medical and mental health professionals, and educators to request a red flag order. To date, only a handful have been filed by those new groups. In the newsroom, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
Kevin, thanks for going through all those numbers. I know it's very detailed. Thank you.